kick off with brand new music. But do remember how you can contact us. This song is 080. Stuff. Let's talk about why Maka is in. We love brand new music, and we love music from Nigerian artists who we feel sick. And Maka has just sort of set herself apart right from the jump from when we first met her. But you've got new things that are out. We're about to listen to a song called No Be Me. But No Be Me is off an EP at the moment, Control M.
Yes, it is, Control M.
There you go. All right. We're going to talk about what that means in a second. But
okay.
Lagos, sit back, relax. Here it is, the sounds of Maka. This one is called No Be Me.
I've never been the girl who really cared about her dress sense. Never been the one without a wall of between fences. Always loved the way it felt, being in my own space. Never cared about a lot, trying to win my own race. Lost in the world of lyrics, so I play my music. I get way
That's
into
it.
it, but I still make time for you. Still make time for you. But I should know better. You wanna take me to mama proper, so she could be proud of you, baby.
Studio, we're back in.
Baby.
All right. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. It is brought to you by Verve, but you're listening to the sounds of Maka there. This one is called No Be Me, and it's a 5-track EP. And before we from you, Maka, I want to hear from our analysts and what they think about this song. Okay, let's start with Myst, shall we?
Righty. So first of all, well done, Maka.
Thank you.
It's a lovely song. It's lovely in pretty much every way. The delivery, the musicality. First of all, just acoustic. Allies this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
he went in on this one, and we all know that Bigfoot is an amazing producer. He's one of my favorites. He's my music love, one of them, and I'm really happy to hear that music of this quality. It's very good to hear.
Thank you.
You know what I love about Maka? If I didn't know about her before this, but I've heard about her mentioned in the likes of Tay Chaplin and whatnot, I'd be interested instantly. But of course, we met here a couple of years ago anyway. I love, again, the minimalist thing about this song. I love the delivery of it all. You got a great, unique voice that you've been able to own very well. And I love that you're a stylist. It's really very different. Like, until you get into, like, the No Be Me part, you think, like, okay, who's this person, where's this person from? And not necessarily you think, like, a Nigerian sense of thing. And I think we need to be moving towards that international sense. And I love this. It has great crossover appeal.
All right. Okay, Kayode.
Well, you know what? I don't like to compare artists, but I will compare this time around. It does remind me of something that India Ray does.
Yeah, exactly.
It is really nice.
And it's a
sweet,
complicated
it's
melody.
smooth.
I have to plug that one in there. Give me props.
I see it.
It's really nice. It's very smooth. It's like now's the first thing that stands out in the song. So it's something great. And like Jeff mentioned, it's international appeal. It's about time that artists started making music like this, that, you know, we can stand our artists abroad and say to them we could do better music or just as good music as you guys do as well. So it's great music.
Okay, Maka, I want to know what was behind not just No Be Me, but Control M.
Okay, first of all, as I said, it was inspired by Caesar. Caesar has been giving me like
Life.
Yeah. She has been
She
giving me
does that.
life.
She does that.
And I just put that into music just to let people know what I'm listening to right now and the kind of vibes. And honestly, I've always had this in me, but until I heard about Caesar, I didn't know how to put it out. You get so she just helped me just put this out. Yeah.
And also, was it you playing the guitar in this?
No. His name is Just Acoustic.
Just Acoustic,
Yes.
Yeah, because that was why
His,
I picked out this particular song for the Grapevine, because once you can hear the strings moving, you're like, that's a real one.
I met him online. He's
Oh,
British,
wow.
yeah. So
Wow.
I met him on YouTube.
Oh,
'Cause
oh,
I'm on YouTube like all the
Wow.
time.
Oh.
The
So
value of social
Yeah,
media.
Wow.
connecting the world.
I love that story.
Okay.
I love that story.
Right, and hopefully YouTube's connected us to the world out there.
You
And don't
know?
forget, we are streaming live. And we are going to talk about this next song now. Maka is still in the studio. She's going to join us in all our analysis and shenanigans here on the Grapevine. But here's an artist we haven't played here on the Grapevine in a little bit of time, actually, but is definitely Burna Boy. And he's dropped a video. This one is called Gbona. It dropped about a couple of weeks ago. We took our time to get round to it. We now have it for you. We want you to listen to it, and we'll come back and discuss how we feel about this particular one. So, Burna and his Space Puffs, which again we'll explain later. This one is called Gbona. Enjoy.
I was
Yes.
too stressed. It was like he wasn't influenced.
Find the sounds of Burna Boy. One of his newest tracks is called Gbona, but it's a video as well. So we're going to talk about how we feel about that video. Now, don't forget, Lagos, we encourage you to join in the conversation. And anyone listening from anywhere in the world, just send us a WhatsApp message to 94440. But if you'd rather tweet, just use that hashtag Grapevine.
It's possible. Thank you very much.
Because, like I was saying before we got back on air, I've not always been his fan. From the beginning, my issue with him was,
Yeah.
It's okay
Like,
now,
it
don't
wasn't
be
guttural.
to me, just felt forced, but he has mastered it.
Okay.
And I feel like he has embodied the sound he wanted to create, which is this very intense fusion of, Caribbean, African, like Nigerian Fuji, and then just a lot of hip hop and R&B. And he has kind of mastered this. And then about the video, it's a very good video, guys. Like, really. I like the fact that they weren't being intense with the colors, and they wanted it to be grungy with and they achieved this. Even the girls that were dancing didn't look so,
Yeah.
scanty and there.
Yeah.
It was
Very
tastefully
modern,
done.
yeah.
So I would even give Clarence some,
Yeah.
some kudos for this one.
But that's
His
basically
creativity
Clarence
on this
style.
one was good. So it's really good to see.
All right, very interesting stuff there. I will say though, for Burna's Fuji sound, just because I was there with the management and when they discovered him and a lot of his music, his backlog of music already at that point was extensive. Decision as to what to put out to the Nigerian public and what they would accept, considering that at the time Burna came out, he was the one himself and Lyric introduced this mid-tempo house scene become rather popular, because before that, if it was not up and
Yeah,
jumping,
exactly.
they're not really listening to you.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did help to change the
Yeah.
landscape of music. He really did.
It did, but Lagos,
Although this video doesn't it remind you of Yawadi? Yawadi, the first one.
Yeah, but I think this is very
This one had-
Burner-esque in its feel, which is probably Burner does have a consistent hype of
Oh,
look
yeah,
and
yes.
feel to his videos. Yeah.
we've got to take a very quick break. When we come back, we are going to continue these discussions here in the studio. Myself and Kayode Baker. We've got Maka as our guest, and we were talking about her track "No Be Me." But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. Cool. Just run through our hands real quick. No, but I hear you.
that's my
I'm just saying this.
because I haven't seen it.
It's really, really
That time, one of
But I
my
love the
favorite
song.
activities was to sit in AR and listen to music. That's literally what we would do. We'd just be there because there was so much music, and it was such a relief to what I was having
That's
to
what
play
I'm
on
going through
radio
right
and what
now,
was
like,
there.
what
Yeah.
to put out is my problem.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I think I have songs for like 5 albums right now.
That's fantastic.
Or even 10. I'm
And that's
telling
what you should be doing. That's what you should have.
Because at a point every morning I used to create music because I play the keyboard. So every morning I go to my keyboard and I create something.
So
I'm
how
still
often
piling
do you
up.
put
I'm still piling up.
Trust me, this is a very popular problem when you actually have
And when you can create music, it's not just
But the thing is that you have to make sure that your listening party is very varied. You don't want your closest friends all the time because they would just like, and you
Yes.
and
A
you
lot of
can't always
people
do
are
the stuff
already
that you
biased
particularly
towards
love
you.
because the best of your stuff will be stuff that you don't actually think is the best.
Yeah. Oh, I'll give you an example. So, this talk about Poe. It just came out. Poe was legit not going to put Red Light on that. Listen, he made this song 3 years ago, and I asked him. I said, "Guy, what,
Pose in Tuesday next week.
what's wrong with you? Please, he better be here on the day I mean." So yeah, I was like,
Tuesday.
it has to be Tuesday. I was like, bro, if you don't put out the songs, I was really happy when I saw that Kcee Adegbite by a bunch of other people had told him the same thing. Do you know
But
that
you
on the
know, so
record,
fun-
on the day of it, he was not going to play it. I said about people, boy, you should go see Sha.
I can relate to that. Yeah.
Because funny enough, you say that, and I saw Shay, and she was like, yeah, she thinks it's too fast. She doesn't actually like the mix of the song, and that's how Poe felt about it
Yes,
as well.
I
Which
told
is so
him, I
funny.
said, guess what? It ain't even about you now.
Yeah, exactly.
about you.
Exactly.
Story of our lives.
That's it, yo.
That's what they keep saying.
It's the same problem I have. Everybody's like, this song is amazing. I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm just gonna run through all the ads now, so we have time.
yeah, that's a very wise move.
It was decided in meeting yesterday. It wasn't my decision. Actually, we could have still gone through it later on because Grapevine is different, but I just figured let's try it out this way.
Okay. But the truth is, this is our news of today. Please, we must touch
Yeah.
Chris Attoh.
I know.
must
You
be
don't want to talk about. I know people are waiting to enter Chris.
Be touched.
Please. Social media is
I
the
heard
problem.
Shadela
Let me tell
went
you.
off.
I was.
She
Oh, you didn't
did.
see her.
I'm going
Her
to
posts were
look
making
for
me
it.
laugh.
I guess what? There's a
voice
lot to
made
be
me
said. I
laugh.
got so much to say right now.
What's going on from the previous week? or
Do you know
2
what I
weeks
mean
ago?
when we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, bro.
He did have nice words to say, so hey.
There wasn't nothing.
For the
We can all
positive.
say nice things and
Hey,
then act like
my
fools
own is this
behind.
thing is social media. If Instagrams were not there, this thing would have happened quietly and we
Yeah.
would shout about it.
But
And put us. That's why I said social media. Alright, guys, studio, we back in. Mic's up. Indeed, and you're back inside the Grapevine, which is brought to you by Verve. It's here on Smooth 98.1, and we were talking just before the break about Burna Boy. He's got a new video out. It is called Gbona. It was directed by Clarence Peters. I mean, like the just effortless, minimalist African Afrofusion. I just meant. Thank you. I did my best there.
Well done.
But also speaking of Burna Boy, he released Space Puffs. Yeah, Burna has his own cereal. Limited edition only, though. I think there are only 50 made in the world. It was at pop-up sales in London recently. And I would like to know what is in his Space Puffs.
space.
Because he's Burna.
You know how I said like you know I said a string of positive news. Now we're going
positive.
we're going now to. I'm sorry.
This is
but
this is entrepreneurial. This is
Say that,
merchandising.
Please, please,
How much
please,
is
please,
it?
please,
Yes.
please. Fans are hungry. 50 boxes. Waiting happen. Did the factory battery close or something along those lines? I'm sorry, I don't get it. Like if you told me, give me
Maka, what do you
doesn't
think
make
about all of
sense?
this?
What does
Limited edition 50 boxes and all in London.
yeah.
please.
It's not even here in Lagos.
It's a
Like, what are
good
you
thing.
talking
It's a
about?
good experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very good experiment.
I would.
Puffs, man. Let's get spacey.
Burna putting 50 boxes of space pups in a NASA flight. That's news to me. This is like, man, people are hungry.
No, I think
Your
he just
fans.
was doing an
I mean,
experiment, like you said.
I don't know about that, but
I'm with that.
50.
I'm with that.
You know what I think it was though? Like imagine if I'm legit trying to go out of their way.
So only 50.
That's why he did 50 because no one shame himself. If you go and shame yourself, go and do 1,000, you not eat all the 1,000 in your house. It will not be a good move. And it's this way, it's scarcity creates value.
But
Absolutely.
though.
even if he
Leave
made
them-
like
leave them
1,000,
wanting
though,
more.
they
leave
would
them
move.
leave them wanting more.
They would move.
Also, can we just say that let's not forget that there are restrictions. There's legislation around creating food products and
Very
items. So listen, you need to just find before the law comes to
100
get you.
last.
Yeah.
150 small child.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a few messages that have come through as well. Chioma from Kayode says, I really like Maka's sound. I definitely felt the scissor influence. Normal girl, I believe.
Yes.
And Peju says, love the No Be Me track. Please, what's the correct spelling name? I hope her music is on iTunes. I cannot wait to go purchase it. Maka?
Yes, it is. Maka.
There you go. There you go. Like a Maka, but no She did not disappoint.
Exactly.
There was no disappointment.
No disappointment.
Never. Oh God, you
That's
guys know how
nice,
many
that's
times
nice.
I hear that line. Seriously.
Two-Face created a lot of problems for a
Trust
lot of people.
Nigeria.
A lot of people.
Well, welcome. At least it's not for like it.
Don't worry. I go through the same thing with 22 Jump Street. Trust me.
My name is Jim.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Wow. Anyways, Cruz sends in this message to say, I want to believe that Space Puffs is not for kids. Yeah, Cruz, we want to believe that too. Well, Abiola from Agungi sends in this one.
I need the title of the jam. I beg. I need
I need me
to
to
download it as soon as possible.
Okay, you're talking about Maka's song. It's called No Be Me. Okay, No Be Me. It's that simple. And up next, you need to put your names to your messages. Number ending in 259. Oh yeah, there you go, Caesar. Thank you. Says Burna Boy is so good. He never goes wrong with his music.
Never.
Other things, perhaps, but we love you, Burna. Anyways, let's move on. Speaking of things, we have to celebrate the life of legendary actor and comedian Baba Sala, who passed away at 83. Well, his real name Moses Adejimo, but widely referred to as Baba Sala, a character that he once played in one of his many productions. He passed away in his hometown in Osun State, October 7th, Sunday evening. And there's just been so many beautiful things about him. It's nice to see that on our national televisions as well. He's up there being remembered. And we just want to take a moment to say, let's remember to celebrate people while they're still here.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's important. We know
Very
he
important.
was a much older man at this point in his life, but you know, it would have been nice to have continued celebrating him presently. But there you go. Rest in peace, sir. Thank you for what you've done for our industry.
Yes.
Okay, moving on now. I know people have been just raring to go because Chris Attoh is in the news. Okay, people are getting ready. So Chris Attoh got married. No, not last year when he married Nigerian actress Damilola Adegbite. We are talking about very recently. He tied the knot with his new wife. Was waxing lyrical on social media, and it's to our analysts. Why do you guys think this is big news? Because it's just been maybe just a year since he divorced Damilola Adegbite. Excuse me. So
Let's start with that thing he wrote that time, some weeks ago.
okay.
About wanting a woman that's, a good woman that knows how to basically respect men, respect the man. Boo, Chris, I've loved your face since KB. I just thought you were such a handsome bubble, but you did mess up no be small. Guy, listen, if you're going to come out and say that basically your wife was the XYZ, you were the innocent, which is pretty much how he painted it, like he wasn't necessarily a participating defaulter in the marriage, like he was a victim. This is speaking a different language because unless you're trying to tell me you met her like 2 months before and maybe while you were recovering from the heartbreak of your divorce, because I don't get 13 months, fam, like after your divorce, all the back and forth slinging of mud, and then you're going to come out and be married this quickly? Bako.
I mean, people also responded quite seriously to what he wrote because he did wax very lyrical about his new wife, thanking God for finding love. I want to thank God for his love, for hearing my prayers. Indeed, when the sun appears, all things suddenly seem with clarity. Thank you for a blessed day. I went on social media because, social media detectives and took a snapshot of Damilola just a year ago.
Yeah, so it was literally this. It was almost literally the same script of this whole love vibes and whatnot. I mean, Shai Ladipo, God bless her. I mean,
Shadi went in on her social
Instagram,
media.
like seriously, like she show you the before and the after, and
That's
like
because it
this
is
marriage
savage.
thing is it by force?
Is it like, I don't understand. For me, it's a case of, guy, just even show some risk. Do you understand that people are watching? We're not sleeping. We haven't been sleeping the whole 13 months. We weren't sleeping during your marriage. We've just been here. People have been telling us everything. So now you're saying the exact same things you said to your first wife, to this second wife. If I was the second wife, I go ask him. So in short, our love is not authentic. You are
It's
photocopying
from the
it.
previous
But
one.
the thing is, we've seen worse cases. I mean, for instance, I know someone who, everyone on Instagram, I love my life and whatnot, and they broke up. And then 2 months later, he was engaged.
But we already know what happened there.
Here's the thing with Chris Attoh, right? I mean, I don't think we can entirely blame him for getting married a year after.
Doesn't
right?
he deserve
But then
love
again,
again?
don't put it out there. That's okay. You want to be happy, right? And besides, Damilola herself said, you know what? When the right man comes, she said this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know,
Real
and she
man,
shaded
real
him.
man.
No,
Real
but
man,
guess what?
yeah.
Do you know
She
what I
shaded
think
him,
we
so
don't
it's okay.
realize is when she was saying that, she probably already
Knew.
knew about this. She's the mother of his child. She had inside information and she's just putting it out in the universe that, you know what, if he's moving forward, oh Lord Almighty, let my own appear by fire. Get me?
But the good thing
By
is that
fire, you
he
know?
Chris Attoh has said that, you know what, the families are together. I mean, it's
And
all
they
about
want
taking
it,
care of their
of
kids.
course.
So basic, or their kid, really. So in the long run, it's in the best interest of the child. So you know what, both of them deserve to be happy.
I'm gonna quote Femi here before we move on. He said when he was talking about his first marriage, he said the issue with marriage basically is that when people separate, they're first of all in love and whatnot, and then they separate, and it leads everybody down a bitter street, and hate basically gets introduced. So I feel like all these things you're saying about is in the benefit of the child. A lot of things that you see on social media, and I just want them to be mindful that that poor child better not be stained or tainted by it. Everybody should maintain love in their chests because, I mean, she should just move forward with grace. May the Lord be with her.
Okay. On that note, we've got messages coming in. MI from Akoka says, Oluwa Burna for me is the real fella black man. Them shot that. When folks come out to copy love, both photos.
That was actually what's his face. Nice.
Thank you very much for that, guys. I mean, best of luck to Chris Attoh. It
Yes,
can't be
still.
easy. It's not easy being married in this age in this society anyways. There's so many pressures. We're a generation that we're forced to live twice in real life and online, and everyone's watching, especially when you're a blown human being. You'll start posting on Instagram. Anyways, but speaking of Instagram, is very way for she's been in and out of surgeries. She's sort of been dealing with so much.
Yeah.
And I know that she had been struggling with a lot of back issues. Not only did she show up on time in the traffic, was there early and waiting with all this pain. So recently, she put up a post revealing that, after 125 days, yep, I have been counting, of pain. I sometimes cannot describe this pain. I never thought that there would come a time when I would be grateful for having a cannula in my arm. Just talking about like a little drip thing inserted. I have a full month of this with changes. The road ahead is long, but we are going to get there. Before, the tunnel was just black, but now I see shadows. Yea, the light cometh, she says.
I mean, she was at the Laolu event, and she had a positive put a spin on things at the same time. And I asked her, how are things going along? She said it should be fine. So it's just about continuing to maintain that positivity, and she'll get back on track on things. Remember, she was also trying to look into getting into the fitness thing as well, as you know. So now she's like more relaxed and whatnot. But she'll be back. She'll be back.
Come on, Chi girl, fight through it.
And in the midst of this, we still saw that wonderful piece that she did.
Exactly.
For
MI.
That she
out of
sang
that
just
pain
before
came
she went
something-
into surgery.
Yeah, out of that pain came something so fantastic as that.
And she
And
just
it was
did
a
a voice note.
Yes, it was a voice note.
She's an epic being,
Yeah.
and the light and love I'm sending in her direction. No care part two.
Please.
God bless her.
Please, guys, so just keep her in your thoughts
We
and
love
your
you,
prayers.
Chigul.
Yes, we do. We really, really do. Up next, somebody's sharing some love and some money and motorbikes. Kcee in the building. Kcee and E-money have given out to youth in their hometown. This is in their village, Uli, in Anambra State. And they say, it's just great. Joy comes from giving. God bless you all. My question is, didn't Kcee announce that he wanted to be involved in politics real soon? And,
I was really...
But isn't this the trend, though? I mean, first
I'm
of all,
just-
not
I'm-
taking
Joy
away
still comes
from,
from
the benevolence of what they've
he's
done.
done.
Exactly.
It is kind and it is lovely, and it's good to see people giving. I mean, whether or not he ever even manages to become anything politically, he has done something good, regardless of his motives, and we give him, praise for that. But yeah, this is a theme that when people have money and they want to run into some kind of political ambition, they do things like this.
we take pictures everywhere and post. So this is just
In
one of
true
those.
form.
It's just in true form. It
Yeah, I
doesn't-
guess so. It's a part of
Yeah.
work. I post on social media my work.
It's part
so.
of what we do now. And everybody got to know what they do. You get so that's just it, man.
All right. But speaking of money, let's talk about rapper eLDee, who is tired of people sliding in the DMs or sometimes just in your comments. And I'm sure everyone has seen these occasionally where it's like, please, I know this is not the best forum, but I just need 3,000 naira, 900 naira, 600 naira, 5K
Naira?
to just, it does, well, that's what, to help complete the school fees, to help complete ... fill in the gaps. They tend to come quite a lot. And it seems to have really gone to eLDee. He says he's sick and tired of people sliding into the DMs to beg for money. I barely have enough for me and my girls, and I sure don't have money trees growing in my yard. You need to realize that every time I give you money, I'm depriving not just myself, but my family of present and future conveniences. So I love giving, but I love my daughters more. He does go on to some extent, but again, we keep circling back around to this issue of online begging, I guess. What are your thoughts?
The truth of the matter is that, yes, okay, he makes some valid points about the whole thing about his daughter and whatnot, but the truth is that you don't actually have to respond to any of those things. It's just simply delete, and if you need to block, just leave them open. Because you know what? You're not the only person that's getting these messages, and you're certainly not the biggest person who's getting these messages, all right? It's happening to people all over the world, so just do what everybody is doing, just ignore.
You know
can't
what I
read
think this
everything.
says to me? This response says someone who does feel the need to give, because that's why you would
Yes.
respond in this way, because
He's
it really
pinning him.
bothers you that you can't help everyone and people keep coming to you for help. Because if I didn't really, don't play with me because I don't even share my food. This is, no, I'm very serious because I've come to this place relatively early in my life where I realized that you cannot give what you don't have, and if you don't want to, guilting yourself into doing it is problematic because you will just forever exist in the space of guilt. And I feel that that's what this post is about, is that, my goodness, I want to, but guys, I can't do it anymore.
To be fair though, Folu shares her coffee, so that's okay.
I do, but again,
Just a little
only
bit.
when I feel like it.
Yeah, it's not
You
like
can't
No,
pressure
I
me.
feel
obliged.
special.
You don't
I
feel
feel
I
obliged.
don't
special
feel
right now.
obliged.
Here's what I think though. I also feel like at the end of the day, if you remember that eLDee is the same guy that used to sing Me, I Go Yan. He's very passionate about the issues. And so these things would be affecting him a lot more. And when he said about later on in the post about people being lazy, this is like the laziest option available to you, begging. Okay, here's the thing. I always tell somebody in my family that cannot stand the begging. He's never as passionate. He just doesn't understand it. Don't beg me, are you mad? But I always tell him
suspect I
that
know who
people
this is.
who have actually tried a lot of other means, it didn't work.
And
And
it's
they're
their
thinking,
last
I'm not too
resort.
proud to beg.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm going to beg. You saw what I did there.
I saw
I'm
that.
going to beg if I have to meet these needs. And I don't think anybody's comfortable begging. Very few people-
Exactly. It's
Very
hard.
people,
It's hard to
some
ask.
people
Some
are
people
making
don't
a
have shame.
business out of it.
Yes.
They will ask 100 people for 50 naira, knowing that 50 naira is easy.
Corporate begging.
500 naira corporate beggars. But the vast majority of people, let's be honest, actually do have some shame and don't want you to take that thing and post it on social media and say, this person begged me. That's why they're going in your DM. You know what I mean? If not, they will come on your page.
No, but
So
you
we
remember
need to
the case
be...
of-
We need to be very patient with these people as well. And I do feel eLDee's pain. I really do. But, at the end of the day, it's what is happening right now. You can't do anything about it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's just a new age. We've got several messages. We've just got just over a couple of minutes, so let's see if we can get through some. MI from Makoka says, sending love and light to Chigul. I know her personally, and she is the embodiment of everything good, and I believe she will power out of this, just like she did with the neck issue. Godspeed, girl. SOJ says, Chigul hasn't allowed her challenges to limit her, and she looks absolutely glamorous at Lala's engagement, says SOJ. More coming through. Biggie from K2 says, I love you, Maka. I just love, lots of starry-eyed love here, saying, I love your music, everything about you,
Thank
even
you.
your nose ring.
Oh, wow.
But then goes on to talk about Chris Attoh, saying he didn't try at all. Let's focus about marriage these days. It's like Solomon, fall in love on Monday, married on Tuesday, having issues on Wednesday, broken on Thursday, considering divorce on Friday, broken on Saturday, emotionally broken on Sunday. The cycle goes on. Don't let it catch you.
This one says, Maka is an amazing artist. Please, does she have any plans to pop-up concerts soon? And when's her EP coming out?
EP's out. Just
See,
always be on her social media.
Just be on my social media.
What's your handle,
And
Maka?
I always have pop-up concerts. In fact, I feel like I'm one of the few artists that is always performing.
She is
I'm
consistently
always
performing.
performing.
She
Please
is.
get on my social media and be up to date. The official Maka, THE official MAKA.
There you go, the official Maka. You heard it. While we've got this one in from Chidi Nandi, who says, Kayode, my take on publishing donations on social media is that it just might encourage someone else to also give, even if it's just one. Fair enough, Chidi. And Ade says, follow, look back into the... What? Oh, follow, look into the camera and say you don't share your food. I don't share my food if I don't feel like sharing my food. I say it with my chest.
I say, maybe your chest.
Let's see, very quickly, let's talk about Steven Seagal. Actually, we have no time. Sorry, it's 30 seconds left. Apologies.
Chris
But
Evans.
he got angry because they asked him about rape allegations and he stormed out of a BBC interview. Because the pressure.
My take is that there were probably some pre-screen questions that they were not meant to ask. But the thing is that I think at this stage it's happened repetitively. If you ask something that controversial, so to speak, there's a good chance that they'll walk off. Don't expect an answer. So I think we should be used to that
He
routine by
might
now.
be used in court against him.
And the reason he screamed out Chris Evans is because he's done playing Captain America after 8 years. It's a wrap for him. We don't know why, but it's okay. It's not by force.
It's
Children think
sad.
he's real life Captain America. Please
It's
leave him alone. I'm
sad.
sure he's tired.
He's gonna be with Daniel
People-
Craig and Knives Out
No more
2019. So look out
Wolverine
for
for
that.
us anymore.
Exactly,
I'm-
exactly. No more Logan and our
Yeah.
usual Logan. That's
No,
okay.
he said he will come back if there's a Deadpool movie, that collaboration.
There
between the
you
two,
go.
so
That would
yeah.
be funny.
That could happen.
That would be
Chris
excellent.
Evans?
Oh, I look
No,
forward to that.
Hugh Jackman.
I
Oh,
look forward
really?
to that. Yes, I
That
really
would be
do.
amazing.
Anyways, we are done. Thank you to everyone who's joined and listened, commented. We definitely appreciate you all. Maka, thank you. Remember, she's at the official Maka. Go find her up on there and find our analysts as well. There are different handles.
Yes, find me at Chef3000 and not on Kanye Delete's social media pages.
Yeah, and then I will be at MYST_SINGS. Myst Sings on Instagram and Twitter.
Fantastic. Kayode Baker and myself is still here in the final hour of Smooth Breakfast where you Lagos get to talk. Good morning.
This was a fun one. Yo, my ear.
Chef.
Well,